So at least getting 100 views. I needed to get 100,000 so I can get us out from working. You heard me. Get us out from working. I don't lie about being a gold digger. There's questions. Oh, I did this part. The YouTube I can edit. And I can edit this beginning too. Because it's not that virtual podcast of hell.
Oh, yeah.
With the jazz.
It was good, though. I liked her podcast.
Yeah, I'm happy for it.
Yeah.
But now I wish I had the tools, if it wasn't blurry, to crop the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Now I can't, now that I purchased the fish tin oven. I know. Hi, everyone. I haven't said the welcome, but you can see the levels there if you want to turn it around.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Just they can listen. Okay, good. I need to watch myself because I scream. All right. Welcome to the GES podcast. Today's guest does not need an introduction because everybody knows her as my wife, wifey, bestie, all of the above, best tits in town. Well, she's in competition with Holly now. Yeah, we're gonna have to put them side to side and see who has the best tits. I definitely don't compare to them. But let's go ahead and give her a very welcome to the squad.
Thank you.
We've been wanting to have you here forever. We have a lot to talk about, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Alison. Again, Pauline's bestie, her wifey. You probably know me from the gym or through Pauline. That's it. Pauline's bestie.
She lives here. You're from here, Alison?
Yep, I grew up here in Columbus.
You only live here?
Yep.
From the South?
Yep, I've lived here my entire life.
The dirty South.
The dirty South, yes.
How long have we been friends?
We have been friends since 2019. We met at Planet Fitness, and I thought, who is this loud, obnoxious girl in the gym? And I don't know how we hit it off. Like, I really don't know.
I
remember how our conversation started in the gym, and then I don't remember how it transitioned into, I don't know, like we were talking on Instagram or what it was.
How did we get to that sushi date?
I don't know that. Like, I don't remember that. I remember we were in Planet Fitness, and it was like in the room.
The back.
Yeah, like the back room. Yeah. And you were in there like being loud as usual, and I don't know like how we started talking because I'm quiet and keep to myself, and you said something, and then next thing I know you were like, "Ho life, go life."
You completed my sentence.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember a little bit more than you do from that day. So the manager from Planet Fitness, your friend, my friend, we're very known. I was talking to him in that corner of the room because I was recording, and he was telling me about recording. You know, I always get in trouble at the gym. And he's like, some people complain about your recording. I'm like, who the fuck complains? And I'm over there telling them, I don't care. I'm going to twerk and do whatever I want and wear whatever. And then you come in and started doing like pull-ups or something ridiculous because you were shredded. And
that's how I was, yeah.
I would love for you to share those photos of just, you know, like just show her photos from before. And when I met you, she was like, shredded.
Oh yeah.
Total goals, her shoulder caps. I don't know what she did, but me, I was the beginner of the gym at 2018. So when I see her come in, gorgeous, blue eyes, black hair, muscles, and I was just checking her out, and he's like, "Why did you look at her?" I said, "Oh no, she just looks. That's the body I want." And he's like, "Well, good luck, because she works out really hard." He was telling me that. I said, whatever, you know how I am here in whole life, and you turn around and said, go life, and completed my sentence. Yeah. And we looked around and laughed, and then we said, they just became best friends.
Yeah.
But then I have no clue.
So the only other thing that I remember, and like, I don't know, I guess maybe we exchanged Instagrams or something at that point, because I remember after that, you sending me like, whatever, like, I guess they were called just videos at the time. Now they're reels, but, you sent me a video from your Instagram as one of your posts of you being like a Karen at Target.
Oh, because you said you love Target.
Yeah, so like I don't even know how we got to that, but like that was like one of my first like encounters with like your Instagram personality too. So I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? And I was like, okay, well, I guess we're best friends now. And it was just like, it was that easy.
Please don't hate me because it's real. I know you go to Target and you're a white woman in the South.
Yeah, it was.
And your mom is a Karen. Can we agree?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom, if she's listening.
It was literally just making fun of Karens in Target. So.
But how good was social media back then, though?
It was really different. Like
we love being in 2019. I feel like.
Yeah, so that was obviously before COVID, before anything weird.
Algorithms.
Yeah, all that weird stuff. When it all still felt like fun, and there wasn't like a whole lot of. I don't know. It didn't seem as fake then. I mean, I know like there's always been a fakeness to social media, but
there was no fitness influencers.
Yeah, like there were, but it wasn't like it wasn't everyone like today. So like obviously there were like the big ones who I used to kind of follow more when that became really popular. Because if you think about like the Buff Bunny, Heidi Summers, or Katie Hearns, and all those were real popular prior to 2019. But I don't know if it was like after COVID, everyone just like everything turned into social media. I don't know.
Now, when I met you, you did tell me that you wanted to you were a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah, not competitively, but that was like the way I trained.
Correct, and you were interested in when you first started training or got into that to be like the competitors when you were into bodybuilding and you follow. Was it Cass Martin? Is that?
Oh yeah, she was another one too who was really popular back then.
So that was one of your motivators to.
Yeah,
body shape and
yeah,
how you train.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I always like the girls who like lifted heavy but still had like a really good physique, and she was one of them.
I don't know when. I don't know if it was after COVID, but I remember. Were already going to Max? How did we get to Max together? Too?
Yeah, so I had actually went to Max Fitness for a long time, and I would just go to Planet Fitness. Usually I would just go over there to do cardio.
On the weekends.
Yeah, like if it was like late at night or on the weekends, I would go in there and just do a little bit of cardio. And when I worked in the office too, I would go over there on my lunch break. So that's why I always had that Planet Fitness membership. And I just canceled that with COVID because I wasn't going to the gym.
Yeah, no, and then we continued to see each other in Max, and I remember those were the best times when we were even training together. It was like, oh my God, she's there with the 60 pounds and I'm with the 10 pounds going like this. Another friends that everybody in that gym was very into the bodybuilding community.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first time I got into that type of life because I was just going to lose weight and I didn't know what I was doing. You saw me. I had no direction, no clue, no coach. I was just a regular Planet Fitness going.
Yeah, but you made a huge progress since then.
Right, not knowing what I was doing, yeah. Those videos I still.
That's the only way that you learn too. Is just getting in there, and you have to find your sweet spot. You have to find what works for you.
And can we agree that Planet Fitness is the best place to start, so that people don't go and join like the pro bodybuilder?
I think it's a good place to start if you are totally new to the gym. I think there are benefits to starting maybe into a. I don't want to say a real gym because I mean all gyms are real gyms.
Right.
I don't.
But not to feel the pressure.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie. When I saw all of the bodybuilders in Max, they had abs. They had.
Yeah. It could be intimidating to go into a gym where people are either, bodybuilding at a high level or competitive level, or strength training like a Body Evolution. That's really big into strength sports. So if it's strongman or powerlifting, if you've never been in a gym before and that's what you walk into, it could definitely be intimidating.
Right, and the girls there live heavy.
Oh yeah.
And I guess this takes us to, since we're here, your advice on fitness and how you live an active life. What is you've been a competitor, you did compete, you never did bodybuilding, you almost did a show.
Yeah.
I know that.
So I think, I've gone through a whole lot of phases when it comes to the gym. So, just from being a regular gym goer to focusing more on a physique style of fitness, which I do enjoy. It requires a little bit more discipline, as far as the diet portion that I don't enjoy. And then I've always had a fun time lifting heavy. So I did, this last year I spent a year powerlifting and competed, and I enjoyed that a lot. But I think, you just have to find what you like to do. And
for the record, I was at her competition. I was not going to miss it for anything in the world. She crushed it. She broke a lot of records. Mm-hmm. This girl prepped, lifted, even when she didn't want to. And tell us some of those numbers, please.
Oh, it was a grind. And I worked with my coach Matt B, who
we love you, Matt B.
And he pushed me, and we set some pretty solid goals for that year, for that competition, and came in and blew everything out of the water. I don't even remember my exact numbers now.
You were like 384. You were close on the squat, 360.
Oh yeah, it was. I think my squat was 335, deadlifts 365.
You were above them.
Bench 175. So it was for my first competition, for just walking into something like that and having never done it before. I was really proud of those numbers. But it was a lot of work to get there.
Well, that comes to tell you that, first of all, she's always lived an active life.
Yeah.
Sports?
I grew up playing softball. I mean, I was like an outside kid, like growing up, I was always outside, whether I was like playing in a creek or climbing trees or whatever. And then, playing softball. And then, once I was an adult, I was just always in the gym.
Always. Mm-hmm. And you can tell by her physique. I'm telling you, this girl was shredded. We're going to find those photos. We're going to post them for you so you can relate with what we're talking about. And our first date, too, in that sushi. But she stayed.
I'm like, why? What's the point?
It is that hangover. Now, your advice. We see it on social media. We're still talking on social media. We used to love social media. We survived COVID because of social media. She was so shy. And believe it or not, she used to have an account with way more followers than me. She doesn't want to tell you. She was all into that back when it was the real social media. You deleted that account.
Oh, yeah.
Good for you. We honestly, even though I've been constant, it's something that it really does not matter to me.
Yeah.
In that aspect. I don't think we want that type of friends around us when it comes to social media.
Yeah, I definitely prefer to keep up with like a smaller group, and close friends, or like, people who I've met. Usually mine is pretty much people that I've met in the gym, if they're training the same way, or, that's pretty much it. That's really, I'm there for the memes. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and you don't post a lot. Unlike me, I do enjoy posting and being friends with all of you. I am the friendly one. You can ask her. I make friends with the roaches in the street. I would be like saying hi to everybody and have to say hi, and they have to tell me hi again. Are we gonna have a fucking problem if you don't tell me good morning at the gym? That was one of my biggest pet peeves in every gym. I was like ready to fight, which is another thing that we have in common, that we both like to throw hands. So I always tell her I'm glad that we became friends, because then we would be fighting each other.
Yeah. Because I think we have very opposite personalities in a lot of ways, because you are definitely the extrovert and I'm much more introverted and I keep to myself. But then like on a personal level, like our day-to-day lives, we just have so much in common.
Incredibly, too many things in common, just how we think as well, which brings me back to the social media part with the fitness advice. If you have any advice to tell your sister, she works at a gym.
Oh, yeah.
I'll disclose. But I feel like anybody before us, me, under 30, I never went to a gym. So my generation of 1980s, we never knew the gym. It's very rare. I guarantee you, we were doing the real good cocaine. We were not at the gym. We were having a good time in our 20s. But now everybody that follows me too on Instagram, and I have a lot of girls, we know, love you, Mandy, and all of them that compete, they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
You were in the gym at your 20s, and you didn't have those goals that they're now going for the pro card.
Oh, yeah.
Not even 30. Get on that, get in all the gear. And it's nothing wrong with that. Again, whatever you want to do, if that is your goal. But do you have any advice, since you've been in the fitness life for more years than me, to give advice on younger generations?
Yeah, I just think that if, no matter what you're doing in the gym, just be sure that it serves you. And if bodybuilding is your thing and that's what you really love to do and you have those big goals and you want to compete, as long as it serves you, and you're enjoying it and you're having a good time, I think keep doing it. But if you feel like you're doing something in the gym, no matter what it is, and you're doing it just because you feel like that's a way that you identify yourself, like, okay, well, I competed, or I said I was going to, so I have to stick with it because that's how I've identified myself. The same way, like last year competing powerlifting, like I had a great time with it. But as this year picked up and my life became busier, it didn't serve me the same way. I don't have the time for it like I did, and I don't feel like I would get the same joy out of it that I did last year when I could spend the time on it. So it's always okay to change what you're doing if it's not serving you.
I think
that's basically how I feel.
And we both agree, and we talk about this every day because we have family members, friends, best friends that don't get the motivation or the idea that fitness is more than just the way you look. It has to work with your health, the inside, and mental. To me, it helps me with both.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing too, is it doesn't have to be an all or nothing mentality to where you have to go. Again, you don't have to place yourself into a specific category of, I'm going to go be a bodybuilder, or I'm going to be a power lifter or a strongman, whatever the case is. You can go to the gym, and if all you want to do that day is walk on the treadmill and then go use 2 or 3 machines, then do that. And that's fine, and that's better than nothing. And you don't have to have that very specific gym identity. I think that's what a lot of social media kind of pushes, is like,
that's what we dislike of social
media.
You
have to fit into like this, section of fitness, and if you're not all or nothing about it, then
they don't take you serious,
right.
Or you're not working hard enough. I have that pressure because I do go to a Gots of Iron for gym there for pro, and everybody competes, and I am just the mascot and the hoe of my gym, and I think the gym owners know this. I'm just there for support for all the competitors, but in my mind, I'm very aware of who I am. If I was a 20-year-old and go to my gym, I swear to, as it is, at almost 40, I see Amanda hamstrings. I took a photo of her hamstrings today. I wanted them, but I know the level of commitment. I'm mentally aware of who I am as a person, and I don't have that commitment right now. So I know I can't achieve that. I think it has, let's say, what is the best thing you love about yourself?
Oh, that I'm a realist. So, I always try to be realistic about things, and sometimes I guess maybe that comes across as like negative because, I try to find like, just the honest truth about things. But, and it's not
Here's
always...
the photo. Let's be honest, I tell you, Alison, I want this body.
Wow, yeah.
Amanda, you posted this today, I sent it to you. She's competing next month. You would think I'm not a realist.
Right.
Am I right? You always, I don't think that's a negative thing. I appreciate that about you the most because we have more like a common sense than other people. Yeah. And we're not saying don't be unrealistic. Of course I can achieve that if I really set my mind into it and I really put the work and everything else that involves it, because it involves a lot of things. It's a combination, but I know I'm in a place in my life that I can't do that. And that's the message that we want to give everybody. Don't copy what everybody else is doing. Do whatever serves you and works better for you.
Yeah, for sure.
In the health life. Now, can we help my mother-in-law? Can I help Renee? Can we help your mom to just go for a walk?
Yeah, I think, again, there's a place for everyone, and it doesn't have to be, a very specific gym identity that you have to have. Again, just go walk on the treadmill or go for a walk outside. But...
Let's tell everybody how much we love our yoga. Allie, we love you. Oh my God. River flow has changed our lives.
Oh yeah. That's another thing too, is just doing different things, so if you are, you're doing one specific, whether it's bodybuilding or powerlifting or whatever, you can always do something else too. Like we would go to yoga on Tuesdays, and that really saved me while I was powerlifting because my body was
crushed,
beat up.
Crushed.
So we would go to Restore Yoga, and it was peaceful, and it was just a very different vibe, and it was good. It's just good to be rounded like that.
you need to disconnect, because this brings me to my next question for her. What is your job? What do you do every day?
Oh, my job is, well, I work from home, so I have that. I at least have that going for me. But I am a software engineer.
And what are some of your daily tasks currently?
So currently, very specifically within software engineering, I work on an application performance monitoring team, which...
That sounds already horrible. I don't know what she's talking about for our listeners.
Right.
My position.
It's fine. It's not bad. But right now, so I have taken on a role as team lead, and I'm leading this really daunting project. Which is good. It's good work, but it's time consuming, and my work days are fully packed. So I spend a lot of time at my desk during the day, in my office at home, but at least I'm there at home with my dogs and in my space and not in an office somewhere.
And podcasting with me daily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daily, nonstop. It's, I get out of a meeting and there I am sending Pauline a voice message about this meeting just went like this. My VP just said this to me. My director is pinging me nonstop. Like, I'm on voice message with her, and you can hear, like, my Google chat in the background going ding, ding. And I'm like, oh, it's my director. It's my, it's whoever. Like,
what do they want?
What do they want from me?
And then it's my turn, because I too have to deal with a lot of bullshit. A lot of you, I think I said this on an episode that I do the pre-litigation for my company, is just analyze all the risk, and everything's a risk.
Yeah,
Turns out that breathing is a risk. And, and the world, I feel like we are the realists. And it's not like we're the realists or the baddest, like like Nicki Minaj. I'm gonna start twerking here. I'm like, what's that song go? She's like, what does it go? I'm about to put it on. That's gonna be the whole fun itself. We're not trying to be Nicki Minaj, the realist here at GS. Right. We just want to give you good energy, squad advice for your daily realist and baddest job, which is at the end of the day paying our bills.
Oh yeah.
And my job is paying for this other job, and I'm very happy for that because it's something that I love. But when I tell you that we are living a very real life, and it's very real situations, and the world is scary. We talk about this all the time.
Oh yeah.
We're the direction of economy, and we can go deep in this. We can talk about this for a million hours. The focus is, well, we can tell them how this started, what happened to us, because I think this is what we're trying to tell you of why this year is coming this way. It all started in the last yoga class.
Oh yeah, when we went to the last yoga class, it had to be it was New Year, or it was
the calendar,
like the 30th. It was like almost the last day of the year. We went to yoga. And the message, because they always give you a really valuable
Thursday,
message.
was it at Restore? When did we go on a Saturday?
No, we went on a...
we went the 31st?
Remember we went Rooted? Yeah. Because we did that Rooted class. Remember, it was hard.
Of the year.
It was hard.
It was 2 hours.
We were like in there sweating. Okay, so normally I like Restore Yoga, where it's just stretching, it's relaxing, it's late at night. You go to the 7 p.m. class.
Yes.
I have my little chamomile tea in there, and I'm relaxed.
You have to experience it. You have to experience this. This is a realist podcast. I don't want to come here with that toxic positivity and tell you you're gonna be this happy like I am, because you had to touch rock bottom.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think definitely, everyone's rock bottom looks different. So it's not like
misery either. We don't want you to be
but where I was, and like I said, I just know. That just gave me a different set of standards for the rest of my life. Like, okay, I'll never go back to this.
The whole point why I have guests like her, because she's come so far in her life, and I see her as a businesswoman, everything that you do in life, fitness, dedicated, good girlfriend, good wife, very good, and other things that I can't discuss because this is not GS After Dark. I'm winking.
We'll do an After Dark episode.
We'll do an After Dark episode, but that's going to cost a lot. Because we are high maintenance and we like good things in life and good food, and you can't afford us. Well, you could, but that's later. Whoever's watching, stay tuned for later. Whoever's listening with money can DM me. The economy's hard. I want my guests to see it's not just me. Pauline is, we're never going to be as happy as Pauline or have a future because I didn't have her horrible life. No. You can have different balance, different life experience. I tell this to my best friend all the time. You had such a good life. Like you should be like 10 times ahead of what, because there's nothing there was no roadblocks at this moment that is stopping you from becoming the best you. I want everybody to get to their best version of themselves. I think that's the end goal on anybody.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if that's not your goal, then what are you doing, right? Like, I know, like, I guess it's tricky too because you might get complacent. Again, I feel like it's kind of where we were the last couple of years is why, you know, your business has picked up. You are, you know, you're doing your life coach stuff, which is really, really good and really important. And I think that's perfect for you. But it's the same thing. Like the last couple of years, we were just kind of like
sitting still, wasting our talents.
We were not, you know, it was just day in, day out doing the same thing.
Does it feel like the past 3 years were just like a cycle?
And now everything feels different.
Yeah. Everything's different. Everything, our daily life, I mean, like we said, we barely make it to the gym, but we make it.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay to take breaks, by the way. This is not toxic fitness.
And I think that goes back to like my point from earlier is that, you know, as long as what you're doing is serving you, but it's the same thing as long as I've spent, you know, time in the gym and I try to be in there as much as possible, you know, there are just times when it doesn't work for me and it doesn't serve me. And instead of, you know, making myself feel guilty about it or obsessing, like I have to work 10 hours and I have to make, you know, an hour and a half to make it to the gym, and then I have to do, you know, a couple hours of schoolwork. You know, if there's something there that I can take off my plate that makes me feel a little bit better or just gives me a little bit more wiggle room, you know, sometimes that's the gym, and it just has to be that way for a little bit. But what I always say is the gym will always be there. So after this, you know, period of time where work is chaotic, school is chaotic, life feels rushed, that will pass. And then
we'll see the future. We'll see the light.
The gym will be there.
The light at the end of this tunnel. We hope that we're just us in a yacht soon, just in a bikini modeling a future collection with a Martha. Stay tuned. No, this is a commercial. I should be a fucking commercial. It just
comes out naturally.
I'm a freaking ad. I'm a walking ad, and I do advertise all my friends. This is, again, I want to support everybody. I think that's what I'm different than your normal, probably Regina George, or if you think because that, to me, I didn't go to school here, so there was no fucking popular girls in Mexico. You just got your ass kicked, and everybody. I think the ugliest bitch was the most popular bitch. So
bring my friends baked goods or a snack, or I show up to yoga class with snacks for you. I came here today with cinnamon rolls, or
you need to make those from scratch, little Debbie's this Christmas.
Oh,
we'll have time. We'll have it.
But one thing I'm not, and I've done it before. I got into it years ago. It was sourdough before this trend.
This is such a trend. I swear to God.
It's time consuming for one, and I guess it's rewarding, but like.
I mean, it's for you. Go ahead and do it. It's better than trying to be Miss Popularity, because you don't want that attention. I keep telling you, and you don't want. I'm actually gonna do a reel that I was able to edit from Jess episode. She thinks like us too, and unfortunately, don't hate us. She's also super hot. It's like it's like, oh my God! Not only are we the Nicki Minaj realist and the baddest, we also look like that, and not our fault, but we have that same mentality that. She's like a girl's girl.
Yeah.
Let's not go with the girl's girl motto.
Yeah, I like the idea of girl's girl. I feel like there's a line between like girl's girl and maybe like pick me girl, because we hear about the pick me girl who is like, I'm not like other girls. I'm the cool girlfriend. You know, I don't wear makeup and I don't, you know, do my hair, and I exist and I'm cool and that's it. I don't think it's that, because, you know, we've talked about this too, is that, it's just about being supportive of other girls no matter what they want to do. Like,
and
again,
what they look like.
if you want to, if you're a makeup girly and that's how you want to leave your house every single day, good for you. Like, it's not for me, but I support you in what you want to do. Or, you know, you don't want to wear makeup, whatever the case is, or you want to filter your Instagram photos. I do not care. You know, again, it's about what makes you feel good. And just being like genuine. And I think that there's a whole lot of
more like, I feel like they don't have that anymore in the new generations. Like, they're not there for each other, and it's scary. Not only in the, I see them only on the good. I see a lot of breakups in young generations, and they don't have the friend to go talk to because the friend was the one that either caused the breakup, or, you know, you see all the, you fuck my best friend, or got my, and not even, that's not even the problem. Is a lot of girls are now, and this is gonna be part of the reel that I found with Jess, it's like the second they have a man, your friends don't exist.
Oh yeah,
that's what Jess was saying, and that's the little dick crazy right there.
Yeah, that's definitely toxic behavior. And not only like is that you know, not having a good relationship with other girls, but that's like really isolating behavior too. So there's a lot that comes with that, you know, if that's how someone is behaving.
But yeah, it's a red flag. And you always have to put yourself first and put value with what matters. Don't try to get attention from other people, not even guys or girls at this point. The right type of women is gonna be, they're gonna support you. I think girls are super supportive. And
oh yeah, well, it's just like anything else too. I think we, you know, it goes back to at least where I am, and I know you're exactly the same way, is do you put more value in a compliment from a girl or from a guy?
Girl.
Right? Like if a guy says something about the way you look, you do not give it, like I don't care, whatever.
I didn't do my hair for you. I burned my face for Alison.
but when it's a compliment from another girl, no matter what it is, whether it's, you know, about your physical appearance, or it's, you know, about your personality, or whatever it is, I just feel like there's so much more value in that.
It is. And we're not feminists. I will say this. I love my husband. I love being his wife. I want to be in the kitchen. I'm all for that. But I'm also, we talk about this all the time, carry our own weight if necessary. The men's not needed. That's the mentality, I believe. And I'm not going to say, I don't want to label, there's alpha females, there's all kinds of females. You don't have to be alpha female. You don't have to do it all. Jolani's a do it all. I mean, I'm not even in that level of alpha female because I don't have kids. I have friends like Martha Stewart, a.k.a. Rebecca.
Oh, yeah.
She does it all. And by the way, she started the sourdough trend. All of y'all are copycats. Just saying. She's been making it and has her own business and 2 kids. Now, to me, that's the head of the pack. Like, that's total girly level goddess status, right? You have it. But she is still a girl's girl. She's still going to pick up my phone. She texts me today, and she just gave birth 3 days ago. That's the little things that I don't need her to text me daily. She's not anymore. We don't need to talk every day. But
and I don't talk to Rebecca often, actually. You know, she's someone, again, I keep up with through Instagram, and that's about it. But because we don't go to the same gym, and you know, so really,
age difference, the lives.
But I think there's still like it's still like a mindset too of like just being humble about it. Like if you're really like doing all the things and you're killing it in life and you've got everything going for you, you don't have to be out there waving a huge flag saying, hey, look at me, I'm doing all the things. That just comes naturally.
Exactly.
So there are people who have to constantly tell you what they're doing and promote themselves. And I'm not against self-promotion, but there's a point where it's like, all right, we get it. Yeah. We know what you're doing. And you don't have to constantly tell us. And it's almost, once it hits that point, it's like, who are you trying to prove yourself to? Are you trying to prove it to me? Because like I see it. Right.
We can see it.
But you're trying to convince me, you're trying to convince someone else.
Well, you're trying to convince yourself, honey.
Yourself.
Because when you say all these things, I hear it, but I don't see it.
Exactly.
Let's talk about that too. Like, I'm not here saying, I didn't tell my friends that I was going to create a podcast and stuff. No, I show up with the t-shirts and I give it to them. I like to do things before I open my fucking mouth.
Yeah, right. You have to be about it, right? And it's not enough to just say those things. Again, you can read all your self-help books. You can, you know,
I can take all the courses.
You can post all the, you know, the inspirational quotes on Instagram or
say the right thing.
Right, say it all. But at the end of the day, if you're not actually living those values and applying them in real life, it's not enough just to say and to preach those things. You actually have to live those values. Right.
Self-help starts with you. You got to help yourself. And we do this every day by helping each other through messages to survive our 9 to 5s, which is what we call it. But whatever it is to get you through that day, because it is a day-by-day situation. Like, I'm not going to come here and give you an advice on how, because I can give you a bunch of advice about my experience or whatever I learned, and then I'm going to go ahead and be a bitch to my husband. You're not going to trust me. But she can call me out. My friends that are close to me will know. People know, no matter what fake you do on social media, if you want to pretend that you're popular, because we know people like that, your 100K followers while you cry every weekend alone is not really about it.
Yeah.
All that is just, you're not going to achieve those goals ever if you're just pretending something that you're not. That's why I think a lot of people either like me or hate me. That message from Caesar. I mean, I say things, I say it because I'm honest. It's like, well, that's one of the things I like about you. You're just honest. And it comes a lot of people don't like it.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of church people. But I am still gonna twerk everywhere. Like, I'm not gonna change who I am because you don't fucking like me, you know?
Right. Yeah, and that's how I feel too. Again, you know, you see people who will kind of morph to fit into, you know, to get you to like me or to do this or that. And, you know, I think everyone gets, you know, a version of you, right? And that's fine. But when it becomes like inauthentic, like I'm just doing or saying these things so that Pauline likes me or so that it makes me seem relatable. I mean, there's plenty of times I tell you, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what is it? You know,
if you want to be relatable with me, we're going to go to Mexico. We're going to do some real coke. And then we'll see if you're all about it. Because I like action.
This is not based on any true story. This is...
We do everything legal.
There's no basis in truth. You know, this is just hypothetical.
If you're my friend, you better snort some shit. Some real shit. No, and when you're an adult, you realize everybody's doing it. So don't be scared. That's not the message of the day. Good Energy Squad, we let you do whatever makes you happy. I will give you advice not to OD if you need it. We don't want you in that path. I've already been on that path. You don't want to be about that path. Trust me. Everything healthy is the goal for 2024.
No, we live good, like healthy,
but balanced,
sober lives. I mean, it's not like, no, there's nothing.
This is a Heineken Zero, by the way, for all the haters. I have a lot of people from Juarez that are now following me. I told them want to invite me to the studio. They probably think I'm the fucking crazy girl from high school. I'm worst, but I'm better. Does it make sense?
Right, yeah.
Because I feel like, in a way, do you see yourself, your 18-year-old self sometimes? Do you ever think about that girl?
Sometimes, but I'm like, the only thing that I like, if I think that way, if I think, you know, back in time, I'm like, I just wish that I had like a little bit of this knowledge. Like, if I just had, like,
you can't.
You can't. It's impossible.
And that's why I'm the life coach. Experience, this gray hair that I have not colored is going to give you so much knowledge.
The only reason why, like, I'm as happy as I am with my life is just because I have lived long enough to know what not to do and to know what makes me not happy.
And you know what? And it's not even age, because I do have friends sometimes that are younger than me that, like I said, I can't talk to about being a mom, but they matured because of those situations.
Yeah, and I think too, so even like I said,
you're very mature and you're younger.
Where I was, you know, 29 turning 30, and that's really when I kind of like reset my life. But even before that, it was kind of in the years leading up to that, I would say maybe like 27, 28. It was like I was already getting into that mindset of like, this, like, my life can't be like this forever. Like, it.
And me was not till 33. You can ask Eric. I was very open. I was an alcoholic. my marriage almost fell apart if we both didn't quit drinking. I was out of fucking control at 33. And I found they took my thyroid and I found the gym, and that saved me. Consistent. The key here is no matter what she was doing, she stayed consistent and she could still transition. She went from, I think it was bodybuilding, that we were in the gym all the time. I was going 6 times a week to overdoing it. We were doing an hour cardio every day back then.
Oh yeah,
and
or
then COVID,
clean meal preps and all that.
You were tell us about your office meal prep. You were telling me about a turkey burger with mustard.
Oh yeah, I mean I would eat all the. It's like when you would think of the stereotypical like bodybuilding foods, like your chicken and rice and ground turkey with mustard. It was like that.
And you were how old? Tell us.
No, I didn't even. I was.
You were not even in your 30s.
Yeah, that I think so. When we met in 2019, I just turned 30.
That's crazy. You were already living a healthy lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
How you ate, and since I've met her.
So, it was New Year's Eve, and we were both off work. So we went to a daytime class called Rooted, which was much harder. But the message was getting us ready for a high energy, high voltage year to come. And whether you buy into any kind of astrology or any of that, anything really spiritual or not, you can take it with a grain of salt. And that's kind of how I feel. I was like, okay, high energy, what's really gonna happen? This year has been insane.
Let me read them.
Yeah.
I have it right here, and I posted it for you, and none of you will believe me. And then January 4th came, and that was the first slap in my face that this was gonna start different. But I'm still hopeful that it's gonna be at the end for a good purpose.
Oh yeah.
But it really just says that according to the numerology and astrology, we have a year of action, and we paid attention. We were in that class. She said it very loud. This is the year of action on our hands, and chances are it's going to feel like you're moving at super speed, sis.
That is how.
Oh my God, we had to reread this in this episode because we kept saying, "What day is it? How is it already 1:00 p.m.? I was at the gym at 5 a.m. and now it's 2 p.m. and it says right here. The thesis of 2024 energetics is high voltage energy. Mm-hmm. So this is the time to understand the law of attraction is now or never. The sooner we understand the thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and emotions ultimately to make up our reality, meaning the world's going to have an effect direct on us. We're going to be enriching this year, or basically what you put out is what you get back. So be very careful. I'm just going to summarize there. And to block, it says right here, don't spend an amount on blocking negativity patterns and expanding beyond your limit, because that's going to come back to you 10 times. So we try to give ourselves advice all the time, daily, and remember this message, and we're reminding it to you in this episode, even though it's February 23rd.
Yeah, right.
Right. I feel like
I think it was maybe the last week of January, and I'm like, I made a comment, I don't know what I was saying, I was like, it just feels like it's been chaotic all year, and I was like, we're still in January. And it felt like everyone is on that page, and I don't know if it's something too, as you get older, like, everyone says time passes faster and like every year as you get older, but it seems like everyone, like, it's a universal experience right now. We're all going through a really high energy time.
And it hit us right in January.
Yeah, it was like all of January. I mean, last year I was in the gym in the middle of the day. Like, my job was like,
I was calling you.
Yeah.
We were in the middle of everybody's gossip. We don't have drama, by the way, but we love somebody else's drama.
I was grocery shopping in the middle of my work day, or I was at the gym.
I was cooking 5 meals and meal prepping.
Now I'm at my desk constantly. Work is insane. I am in school.
I was about to say, tell them what we're doing.
So I'm like powering through to get this master's degree, and it's just like everything at once. Like this year,
it's happening. Yeah. No, but another thing I will say, we're making it happen. Like I too got certified. We're trying to get it happen. I started my business. It's no stopping us, clearly. I don't even know how this hoodie got here at this point. I'm like, what is happening?
It's just happening fast. It's happening so fast.
I got merch out. I got stickers. I got my 5th episode.
Well, I remember the day we were even talking about this when we were like, you know.
Camille, did you do this while I was asleep? Camille, where are you? Does she live in here? She'll probably come out of here with a batch of lumpias, and I will be so happy.
Please.
Please, Camille, we love to eat. Which brings us to our next topic. We have so many topics to talk about. We gotta write it down.
We need like
7 series.
Yeah, we need this will be an ongoing series.
Well, and again, we're just trying to tell people that friendships evolve. Like from 2019, we were all fitness. Then COVID hit us. We survived that. So let's give him a little thing. We survived that. We were tagging each other. She was so shy. She's like, I'm only doing the stupid push-up challenge because of you. She wouldn't do the twerk challenges, but that's why I have Jess and my other Instagram friends that are locas. Because I was twerking a lot and on my back I can't do it. Somebody told me yesterday, you don't twerk, and I said, because it hurt.
Yeah, right.
Please have mercy. I can't afford Eric. Eric, this is not a sponsored fucking episode for you. Revive is not paying for shit, so I'm not gonna give you a shout out. I need a free visit, por favor. My twerking has stopped because of that. Yeah. I do like twerking I was twerking all the time in Max in the mirror, and now I can't physically do it. And so you evolve, right?
Right.
We're evolving with the change. We said it on they said it on the yoga class. 2020, it's on an email, I'll post it too. I screenshotted that message from Riverflow because it really spoke to us. We felt it on the last day of the year. It said 2020 and 2023 were years of trauma. They went so fast. I don't remember them. I remember 2019.
Yeah, and I think like it all just kind of runs together, right? Because I don't know. I think there was just a lot of transition in how the world like evolved through COVID, right? Because it was all like there was the lockdown that was real weird, and then there was like, okay, well things are opening up. Yeah,
OnlyFans came out in 2020.
Well, so a lot of that came out, you know, and social media really blew up, right? But transitioning from like working in an office to going home, and then there was. When things started to get back to normal, there was always that conversation, like, are you going to go back to an office? And, you know, so we were kind of in limbo for those couple years. We really didn't know how things were going to look.
And the shots, remember how you were scared of traveling? And we're still went.
Oh, yeah.
Look, we're going to start talking about our trips.
Oh, yeah.
Who was in the middle of a pandemic in Mexico?
2020, October 2020.
Raise your hand if there was no COVID shots and you were supposed to leave the country. We brought it. We brought motherfucking COVID to Georgia from Mexico.
No, that was well after that. So we...
March, COVID.
Yeah.
We brought the 3rd strain that needed the booster. We never got sick.
No.
So it's bullshit. And we had no masks in Mexico.
I mean, we had like masks wherever it was required, you know, when you're in the airport, there was that. But once we got there, it was not bad, you know, and it was just weird to see how, you know, things had been such a big deal here. And then when you go, so especially like where we were, it was a tourist area. And it's like, no, the world is still going on. Like things are still...
There was no restrictions.
Yeah.
No bars closed, no gyms closed. We went to a beach gym. I did nothing. I just took photos for Instagram.
Yeah.
Fake it till I don't
but it was all like everything there. It was like pretty normal. Like everything was business as usual, you know. And it was just interesting to see how America was handling it, and we were, you know, however you feel about it. But
how about how Europe handled it though? My sister was in complete lockdown. Europeans took it to another level too. She couldn't even go to the park.
Yeah. So again, just interested in like how the world like was going through. But then just a whole lot right then.
Yeah, and then I also like talking about our careers. I also don't feel like, even though I did apply for a new job, I'm gonna turn 2 years in this job in 2022. I want to say, when I went to Guatemala and came back for my cousin's wedding. I didn't think I was gonna get it because but now we believe we can be doctors for the type of level of leadership that we have to deal with every day. At first, if you ever doubt yourself, and again, this is the good energy message, if you think you can't, trust me, bet on yourself all the time, because you're going to be the best fucking person in that position. if you know you can do it. We make these comments every day.
Yeah, and so I don't know if it's like a little bit of maybe imposter syndrome to where I'm like, in situations where sometimes I'm like, there's no way I'm the smartest person on this call, or there's no way I'm the most knowledgeable person about this subject, or you know, whatever the case is, or
my title doesn't match.
I'm the best person for this, and then you realize like, wait a minute, actually I am. And you know, I don't know if it's not that like it's self-doubt, it's just it almost always seems like there's, you know, maybe it's like a kid, like, oh, I need an adult, and then you realize like, oh wait, I'm the adult here, like I'm that person that does this.
Well, I feel that even if we're not the adults, we have directors above us and VPs, we still know what's going on, and that's the scary part. Because I never believed I was going to get this job. I had no experience, and it was very high up. It was a friend that said, because I knew her. It's one of those that you can only get in with certain person. Knew you, but I'm doing the best job of everybody in there at this point.
But you and I also have really, really high standards for anything that we do.
This is true.
So where I think that comes in for us is, whatever job you're gonna do the best at that. Like, and that's just how we are. You know, I'm not gonna come in and do a half-assed job at work. You know, really in the gym, you and I are the same way. And I mean, we all have this. We have those days or weeks or sometimes even months where it's like, okay, I'm just not feeling it. But we still have that standard of like, I'm still gonna do this. You know.
And we don't quit.
No.
Because even if you skip a day or two, you won't see us, and it's okay. That's another thing you wanted to let everybody know. If your priorities change, we're so busy right now. I have 2 jobs. And like she said, I'm going to do the best I can. I never thought I could do a podcast, and now I'm doing audio and all this stuff. Come and put this wall. I still don't know how this got here. I believe. And I got a sound thing. I'm learning. And I'm going to learn more tomorrow about social media and all that stuff, because I had to educate myself, and that's why we do. That's why you're going to school. You want to be better because you realize you are good at what you do.
Oh, yeah.
And knowledge is power. We're big advocates. I had to get me a coach too, because I'm not going to, when people ask me, what's your split? Hire someone. I didn't go to school for that. You have to get someone that actually has the knowledge. And not only that, you and I are huge on this. And correct me if I'm wrong. But my coach is right now on vacation in Cabo San Lucas, and she's at the gym. There's no fucking way I'm going to listen to someone that is not in shape or not leading by example. That's the only requirement I ask for my coaches. It can have, not only that she has the degrees, but I also want her to be motivating herself, because that's your job.
Right.
Whatever you do, you have to be good at it.
Yeah, and I feel the same way too. It's like I respect people a lot more when I know that they can kind of prove themselves in that way too. Because it's the same, again, when I'm powerlifting, and I have a coach who is a power lifter, and he's very knowledgeable.
And strong.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, man. That squawked over. I feel like that was yesterday.
Right, yeah. It feels like no time.
You every fucking day. Every day. That's
but, I think and those kind of people are who you and I typically surround ourselves with. So I think that's why we always have those high standards. Just because. And
we do it ourselves. That's what. Yeah. This is another thing, and I think that might be, we hate asking for help.
Oh yeah.
Why are we like that?
I'm the kind of person I would cut my hand off and then drive myself to the hospital because I don't want to inconvenience anyone. And be like, hey, could you give me a ride? Like,
it's crazy. I already booked the groom. I like to take myself to the airport. We were, oh my God, let's talk about another trip. Let's talk about our Vegas trip. So we had Tulum in 2020. Yeah. Vegas was wild. Mm-hmm. I don't remember much, but I want you to tell them the story of. That I took a Benadryl the morning of travel. I don't remember.
No. So we were out late. We were out, and
at the Caesar's Palace Club.
We're not. I'm not a club girl. I'm very much a homebody. And but you know, went in Vegas, right? So we were there, and we went out one night, and It was our last night there.
I saw Paul Shore that night.
Yeah, we
Shore.
casually bumped into Pauline Shore at the bar.
We in the VIP. Fran and Alejandra.
So we were out dancing, having a really good time. It was a girls' trip, and it was so much fun. But that night, so it must have been like 3 or 4 when we got back to the hotel, and we had to be out of there, I'm sure, before like 11 or 12 the next day. Well, Pauline took like a high dose melatonin and was just like out of it. So by the time we're like in the airport, like there had been like a lot of things that happened on this trip. Remember our first cab ride from the airport when we got there? It was a nightmare.
We need to find him and kidnap him.
So that was a nightmare. But anyway, like our on our way out, we were like...
The pool was good, though. The pool... I'm going to post this video, don't worry. I'm posting us working in the pool.
Pauline is there, like...
competing.
We woke up, we made it to the airport, but, like, clearly, she is still very doped up on melatonin.
Not even drugs, y'all.
Like, asleep.
Not even an edible.
I'm pulling her luggage through the airport. She's, like, dragging ass. She's, like, out of it. I'm like... We gotta get through here, and...
How did I pass TSA?
You're a zombie.
I don't remember anything. The last thing I remember is walking for Chinese in a Quinta.
Oh, yeah.
That's the last time I remember. I don't remember how I woke up.
We got back. We flew into
Melatonin
Atlanta.
is dangerous. It's real drug.
Because it was such a late flight. So we took Groom from Columbus to Atlanta, flew to Vegas, flew back to Atlanta... but our flight back was so late we couldn't get a shuttle that night, so we'd already booked a hotel. It was a grungy La Quinta Inn by the Atlanta airport. Remember our first room? We got in there and we were gonna take a shower, and the shower did not work. It was like midnight.
The door was not closing.
It was midnight, and we're having to call the desk and tell them the shower doesn't work. We had to get moved to another room. We ordered Chinese food, like some nasty ass.
But we went out to walk. I remember walking.
So there was a McDonald's. There was a McDonald's across the street, and because this was still COVID time, they didn't have. You could not go inside. You could only go through the drive-through.
We had no car,
and we didn't have a car. So we were like, we had walked across the street, and like we couldn't go inside. So we were like, we walked back to our like nasty ass La Quinta, and yeah, it was just a time.
I don't even remember how I got back home. Derek, I'm sorry. Trust me, I'm saying. But this is one thing I'm going to say. Because she was in that trip, I felt completely comfortable that I would be home safe. And I feel like it's the same.
Yeah.
When she was drunk, I was taking care of her on the pool party. She would not get that white girl wasted if I wasn't around. It's a thing that her and I have that I don't feel comfortable doing certain things with people.
Pauline will murder someone.
I don't have my back.
If I could not take care of myself and someone tried to do something.
Anything. And I do it done it for Christina many times, because she can take care of herself and she never probably will.
Yeah, we won't talk about her with our cab driver in Mexico.
No, she's trying to ring. Luckily, she's not listening to the podcast. But I will post those photos, Christina. I will blackmail you. She's always I've lost her in Miami Ultra Fest. Erica, you can confirm this. We couldn't find her in 2 days. She lost her purse. I managed to find her purse so she can get on the plane back. Don't ask me how, because I was still drinking in 2017 when we went to Ultra Fest. But those are the kind of, you always want to have an Alison and a Pauline in your group.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you have us both, you're very fucking blessed. You're very fucking blessed, to be honest.
We're both very responsible, though.
Yeah.
Like, when we are very, we have very good situational awareness. I think that's one thing, too.
But you're a little better on reading people than me.
Yeah. I would definitely say I can read people really well.
Because I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, and that's why. I mean, it is a blessing and a curse to have this good energy, but I do see the best on everybody, and I give everybody a chance, and they don't deserve it.
And I probably missed out on, like, some really good people because maybe I just, like, I misread them, or I got the wrong vibe from them.
Or you didn't want to give them a chance.
Yeah, and I didn't want to give them a chance, which is okay. But... You know, at the end of the day, too, I feel like that kind of protects me.
You listen to your gut. But I'm not going to lie. I've seen you, since you were going to Body Eva, open up a lot more to people. Maybe that gym made you a people's people, because in Max you weren't talking to nobody, and Planet Fitness you weren't talking to nobody. Yeah. So you definitely got like a girl gang going there.
Yeah.
For you?
I think, you know, it's just like, I really look out for like good quality people. And I, you know, again, I can always just kind of tell, you know, which is not specifically like, you know, it's not specifically fair because you can always tell, you know, right away. But I just prefer, I would rather have a smaller group of people that I associate with that I feel like are, you know, just better quality people.
I just want to be friends with everybody in the world. That's why I created a podcast. So if you listen to me from Nepal, I don't know where that is, but hi, hola. I don't know what they tell them, but I do like to have I've always been fucking friendly. Even if I don't want to, it just happens. Which is another thing that people probably don't know about me. I'm not there. Like, I don't show up with a sequins dress. I want to. I have 5 of them. I'm looking at them. But in reality, I'm not seeking for attention. Does that make sense? I think a lot of people don't know that about me until you get to know me.
Right. Yeah, and that's just who you are. You're not doing it for any reason other than that's just who you are.
It's unconsciously, I swear to God, that the attraction. And a lot of people get close to me to get that attention the wrong way.
Yeah. And I've told you that too. I've called out very specific things where I'm like, you know, I just wonder or I just think, you know, maybe, you know, it just like the attention that you can bring to other people, they want that. They're seeking attention, and a good way to get that is by associating with you because you are always on social media. You do repost your friends, you know, so that's an easy way for them to get that exposure. And if that's the only reason that they're being friends with you or being nice to you, I don't think that's a very genuine reason.
No, that's a fake reason. And again, they need to shine on their own. Like, I let my friends shine on their own. I don't like taking the spotlight. My Instagram is not all about me. And GS, I created it for everybody. I want even more people to be involved because I don't want to be the center of attention. Everybody brings so much to the table. Even my husband, that is the quietest person and opposite of me, I see all the good in him sometimes Derek, because he does listen to this fucking podcast. I talk a lot about.
I love Derek.
I know, but I talk a lot about the Spanish ones. I did yesterday, but again, he doesn't like social media. But guess what? He is in social media, and a lot of people don't know this, but I respect that about him, just like I respect it about Alison. She's not posting selfish. That's not who she is. That's what I like doing, me, Jess, and I have friends that do it. But everybody has to shine different way. If you're trying to get near me or be me, that's when you're going to have a fucking problem. Because unfortunately, what comes out of my mouth is, you can't copy it. I can't even stop me. And that's at the end what makes me. People can't take me to restaurants. All my friends say this all the time. That's why I'm like, maybe I'll just talk to myself in a podcast and look. Why did I not think about this? This could be my real life calling, because I do want to attract people, but for a good reason.
Yeah, but you also have, it's not just talking though. You have a lot to give and a lot to contribute. And I think that's really good about you too, though, is that you bring out a lot of things in people, because you do it to me too. You bring out a lot of different sides of people that, you know, maybe they don't know is in there.
Or they haven't, how do they say when they put it? Push, what is it called? It's a word. I think Kate talked about it on the episode, when you put it on a block, like a mental block, and you forgot you had. We need to bring the therapist again for another intensive therapy session that we all need. And I think it's very important, now that we're touching that subject on, if you listen to my episode, I'm not this person, I am this happy person, and I am this lovable. Anybody that knows me now, and for years, I've always been like this, but there's a lot of dark behind that I had to pass through. And I wanted to ask you if you had anything that made you, that defined you, a dark moment or anything in your life that you had to overcome, and maybe that either make you more quiet or to just life different.
So I mean, I had like really through my 20s, like my life has really never been super easy, but like my 20s was like, I went through some pretty dark times. So coming out of that, I think it was like right when I was 29 and turning 30, like it really came out of like some really dark times. And I just decided like, okay, I'm done with that part of my life, and you know, I know what I have to do to take care of myself and move forward and be strong and just be true to the person that I am. So I don't think that any of the dark or bad times defined me, but it definitely put me in line with where I am today, as far as what I know is true to me and things I'll never go back to. You know, so I can say for sure, like, okay, well, I've been here, here, and here, and that's something that I'll never experience, you know. And I think there are lessons, you know, it's always like, okay, well, you have to learn a lesson. And you see people repeat patterns.
That's what I was about to say.
And I'm like, you have
to
learn. That, and that's the biggest thing, is like, you can be in a bad spot and get out of it. And then you just have to learn. You have to accept that, like, you can't go back to that spot no matter what. So I don't think those times defined me, but they definitely put me in line for who I am today.
So it was a defining moment to your future. More like it made you who you are. And this is a priority on this podcast and